Hi guys, Dale Malik here with Watch to Wear. Thank you for joining me today. So before we get started with today's video, two different things I'd like to touch base on. First of all, the new website, it's coming along very nicely. We're right on track. Check out that screen capture. Now that's pretty cool. The second thing I wanted to mention to you was I just got back from an NAWCC show and it was very cool, and I actually picked up three cool looking watches. Now the first watch, it's called a Black Shield. It's actually powered by a Seiko automatic movement. It's 36 millimeters including the crown, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's flawless. It keeps perfect time. I love the silver dial, and I just love the hands and markers. And check this out. I picked it up for $70. Now the second watch is another automatic movement. And the thing that I really loved about this watch, it reminds me of the 1970s Amiga Geneves. It's very cool. I just love the dial. Now it's a little bit smaller than the Amiga Geneves. It comes in right around 34 millimeters, but it works extremely well on my little girly wrist, and I love this watch. And I picked this one up for $70 as well. Now the third watch I picked up, it's called the Sheffield. It's a vintage chronograph from the 60s. And I don't know if this is serendipitous or not, but when I did my video on my top 5 vintage chronographs under $1,000, Sheffield was actually on my hit list, but unfortunately it didn't make the cut. So, like I said, could have been serendipitous or not, but this watch is absolutely flawless. It's about 36 millimeters case size, a little bit bigger with the crown. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the silver dial. It's powered by the Venus 188 movement. It's clean, it's serviced. Just an absolute gem, and it's keeping time perfectly. And check this out. I picked it up for 350 bucks, and I got one beautiful watch as a result. But anyway, putting that aside, today's video is going to be on my top 5 choices for vintage dress watches under $1,000. As always, these are my personal picks, but probably most importantly, just like the vintage chronographs under $1,000, you get a lot of bang for the buck. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 5. Now my 5th pick is Seiko. Now the Japanese watchmaker has been making fine timepieces since 1881, with the first watch produced under the Seiko name in 1924. Now Seiko makes some beautiful dress watches. On a very rare occasion, you can pick up a Grand Seiko for under $1,000. Now this obviously depends on the watch's condition. However, the Sportsmatic from the 1960s is readily available for under $1,000. They have a beautiful automatic movement measuring in right around 37 millimeters to right around 38 millimeters excluding the crown. Now I also really like the Sportsmatic 5 Deluxe, reference number 76197010. It features a date function and has a mechanical automatic movement with 25 joules. Now another nice Seiko from the 1960s is the Skyliner Vintage 21 joules. It measures in right around 36 millimeters and it's powered by a Seiko automatic movement. Now the Skyliner sells for right around $500 to $700 and it's absolutely stunning. A beautiful dress watch. Lastly, I really love the Seiko 5 Actus from the 1970s. It has a beautiful square case and it measures in right around 34 millimeters. It also has a day and date function at the 3 o'clock position and it's powered by a 23 joule mechanical automatic movement. Now there's several different dial variations available, but please beware of the redials. If it doesn't bother you, then go for it. Just make sure everything else checks out. Now I actually own one personally, reference number W08887, and I really love the retro style and design that it has. I purchased mine for right around $65 and I had it serviced by my watchmaker Mike Paul for about $1.50, and for less than $300 I have this absolutely beautiful watch and it's probably worth at least 10 times that value. But at number 5 is the Seiko Watch Company. Number 4. Now my 4th choice is Movado. Now the Swiss-based watchmaker was founded in 1881. Although considered a mall brand today, Movado made some very beautiful vintage watches. Now for about under $1,000 you can pick up a vintage Movado Calendomatic Triple Date. They're generally right around 34 millimeters in size, and they're powered by a 17-joule Swiss mechanical automatic movement. Now another nice Movado is the Kingmatic from the 1960s. They're powered by a 17 or a 28 joule mechanical automatic movement with or without a date function. Now the case size is very true to the era, coming in right around 35 to 36 millimeters. They also make some very beautiful 18 karat gold dress watches from the 1960s. I really love the beautiful silver sunburst style, and they're powered by the Movado Zenith 2542 movement. The case size is right around 34 millimeters, and you can definitely pick these guys up for under $1,000 if you play your cards right. So at number 4 is Movado. Number 3. Now my third pick is Longines. Now the Swiss-based watchmaker was founded in 1832 and has some beautiful vintage dress watches from the 1960s and the 1950s. One in particular, and I'm sure you heard about it, is the Longine Conquest. In my opinion, one of the most underrated and undervalued dress watches today. I really love the Longine Conquest 9026 from the 1960s. It has a 35 millimeter case without the crown, and it's powered by a mechanical self-winding caliber 291 movement. It has a date window at the 12 o'clock position and has this beautiful gold dial. Now there's also the Longine Conquest Calendar reference number 9004 from the 1950s. It's powered by an in-house caliber reference number 19 ASD. The case size is right around 35 millimeters without the crown. I really love the stainless steel case with the gold markers and the case back with the fish and kelp. It's second to none. So at number 3 is Longines. Number 2. Now my second choice is Hamilton. Now the Hamilton Watch Company was founded in 1892 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Well known for their asymmetrical 1950s electric Ventura 500 model, Hamilton has some very beautiful vintage dress watches ranging anywhere from a few $100s all the way up to several thousands of dollars. Now there are some beautiful dress watches from the 1960s. They're usually right around 34 millimeters in case size, and they're powered by a self-winding caliber 63 movement. Now the Thin-O-Matic models are absolutely stunning. There's probably over 70 different models available. You can find them in solid gold, and the size is slightly smaller, right around 33 millimeters. They're powered by a 17-joule automatic caliber 620 movement. Now my personal favorite is the Hamilton Wesley from the 1950s. It features a 14 karat solid gold case with gold hands, markers, and a beautiful gold dial. It has a beautiful rectangular case measuring in at 23 millimeters, but 42 millimeters lug to lug, so it wears very nicely. It has a high grade Hamilton 22 joule 770 mechanical movement. So at number 2 is the Hamilton Watch Company. Number 1. Now my number 1 pick is, drum roll please, Amiga Watch Company. Now the Amiga Watch Company was founded in 1848, however it was later incorporated under the Amiga name in 1903. Now in my opinion, Amiga makes the best vintage dress watches on the market, and there's several different models to choose from. First we have the Seamaster with many different models available, as well as dial variations. We have the pie pan dial to the two-tone dial to the more traditional dials in black, silver, or gold. First we have the Seamaster 30 from the 1960s. It's powered by a caliber 286 mechanical movement. It has a case size right around 35 millimeters, and it's a very elegant dress watch. It truly is timeless. There's also the Seamasters from the 1950s. They're powered by the caliber 490 automatic movement. The case size is right around 34 millimeters and features those beautiful dolphin hands. It has that timeless second-hand subdial. Next, we have the Seamaster Cosmic. Now, the case size is right around 33 millimeters and it's powered by the caliber 565 automatic movement. It has that beautiful stainless steel case and has a date function at the 3 o'clock position and features a quick set date. That's my personal watch. And of course, there's the Seamaster Deville. Probably the most sought after Seamaster is the Don Draper version with that beautiful looking crosshair dial. As you know, an original Amiga Seamaster Deville a la Don Draper is extremely rare and very hard to find. Now you can find a few on eBay, however, due to high demand, the price has gone up well north of $1,000. But if you decide to pick one up, a redial, that's fine in my opinion, but that's completely up to you. The only thing I would suggest is just be careful of a true Franken watch. What I would do is go to Amiga's Vintage Watch Forum or go to Amiga's database, do your due diligence, and just make sure that it's not a true Franken watch. Now, another beautiful Amiga dress watch is the Constellation. They measure in right around 34 millimeters and have many different dial variations to choose from. I personally own one from 1961, reference number 14381. It has that beautiful stainless steel case with those beautiful looking rose gold markers and dolphin hands. And it's powered by the caliber 551 automatic movement. It has that beautiful gold observatory logo on the back, but my favorite feature is the crosshair dial. Other vintage Amiga dress watches include the 1960 Geneves. They're absolutely beautiful. I just saw one at the watch show for right around $550. It was absolutely stunning. It actually had the Constellation movement in it. And you could also get the bumper automatics from the 1950s. Both of these, as I said, you can pick them up easily for under $1,000 and probably under $500 as well. So at number one is the Amiga Watch Company. Okay guys, now you know what my top 5 choices are for vintage dress watches under $1,000. But I want to know what you think. Leave your comments below. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And in closing, make sure that you will always have a watch to wear.